Hey guys, so in this video, we are going to go over the best ways to get a free Master Set player in every single event in Hockey Ultimate Team. Now, for the last few days, I've really dug into the numbers, gone over all of the reward structures and how you acquire free cards in this game to lower the amount of time required to actually get the free MSP that is offered in every single event. So, let's dig into it. All right, now I apologize, this is going to be a lot of numbers, but I need you to follow me here, all right? So, we're going to talk about objectives. If you guys have been watching my No Money Spent series, I have tasked myself with giving the challenge of acquiring an MSP every single event for the rest of the year within that event. So I'm not going to go back and allow myself to miss out on one and then build it up as we go along. I am making sure that I get the MSP in the same event. And now, because cards are getting up to about 95 overall, and EA has a horrible progression method in terms of cost, it is becoming quite expensive, and I have to get kind of creative and really dig into the numbers to find out the best way through. So, as we know, the moments that you can acquire, the objectives that you can do for every single event, we'll take the clutch moments as the example that I'm going over this one. If you complete them all, you will get a free MSP. It will cover all of the upgrade costs and tiers for those cards for that event, and they do last about a month, so you don't have to rush out. But I want to talk to the players that they do play quite a bit. You're a regular player. You do a Hut Champs run every week. I want to talk to those players because that's the majority of the people that are still, watching the content, but also playing the game, and I want to help you guys out the most. And even if you can't play a ton every week, this is still going to be the fastest way to acquire these cards. So the first thing that we have to get is our first card. All right. So getting one card, I wanted to talk to the math here. This is insane to me. The average game, all right, the average game for NHL is 20 minutes. Okay, now obviously the burst and playing 2-minute squad battles is going to drastically change things, but I'm someone that likes to go with the most amount as the example because then anytime that there's less, it will drastically cut in the cost and time involved. So we're going to assume that it's normal rivals, 3-minute periods, and you play squad battles. If you are going to play squad battles, you're going for the most amount of points, which is about a 20-minute experience. That is 590 games times 20 minutes. That equals out to 197 hours if you only have one player from the event working towards getting those free collectibles, which is absolutely insane when you think about it. So obviously, that's not doable. 197 hours is insane to play the game that you normally would just to try and get one free card upgraded. So now let's talk about, because they do stack, the best ways to limit the time. Again, I'm going to give you exact times and where the best value in terms of time and savings is in terms of coins. And where you should start every single event is going to be challenges. So I'm going to start with this one specifically, the daily challenges here. The reason why it is 100% worth it to blow through these 5, they're all 1 minute, or the 3 of them are 1-minute periods. If you get through all of these ones, as well as these first 2 ultimate challenges, you're going to spend about 30 minutes in game. So obviously it's going to maybe take you about 45 minutes. Let's say an hour, okay? An hour in total. But what you will have at the end of this is a random 85 to 86 overall clutch moments player, as well as an 85 overall clutch moments Kasperi Kapanen. Now, if you guys want a video on how to actually do these challenges, because some of these ultimate ones are pretty difficult, I can do that for you, no problem. But also, don't forget, guys, you don't have to do them all in one single game. So I mentioned this, score 10 goals, 3 shots against, and a face-off of 95%. You can score 10 goals in one game, get the 1 star, start up the game again, and then do the maximum 3 shots against and face-off percentage of 95 in the second one, and then you will actually complete it. So let's say 1 hour of in-game time. No one likes doing offline challenges. They're extremely boring. Let's be real here. But what you're going to cut down, because you get 2 free cards for the Clutch Moments event, that is saving you 98 hours. So obviously that is a good value for you, all right? No matter what, that is saving you 98 hours in-game just by getting those 2 done. I also want to mention the random 85 to 86 overall clutch moments player. In my prior video, I said save it because the Kapanen is the only 85 out right now. that is removed from that pack. So you can go ahead and open that. You will get, I believe, Colt Incisions or Diaco. Kapanen is not in that pack, so go ahead and open that immediately, and you will then have 2 cards ready to go for this event. Now, next up, I am 100% doing this free to play, as well as not save or costing you any resources that you already have. I think this is the best way to do it because it is showing you the absolute bare minimum. Like if you had 0 coins, this is how you do it. Then go to the Clutch Moments challenges, and these are going to be here for every single event. This really hasn't changed at all. It's been kind of rinse and repeat. If you finish all of these, it's 18 minutes in game. They're very, very easy, and you're going to get 2 event collectibles for finishing these, which is important because, again, that helps you towards upgrading, but also something else. Now, the 100% most effective way to get a free MSP is not by buying any of the other event cards that are on the auction house to put in your lineup to knock down those games. It is not nearly enough value. For example, as it stands right now, especially in the first week of an event, okay, we'll go to Clutch Moments right now. There isn't a card up for under 50,000 coins, and most of them are going for 60, 70,000, which is absolutely absurd because there's simply not enough cards. There's only 20 in total, and most of them are MSPs if you go and look at the collection. So there's very few cards that can actually be pulled. What's even more insane is if you look at Colt Incisions, who is legitimately a card you can get for free, that's going for 50,000 coins. If anyone buys this card and doesn't spend, the 45 minutes to get him, that's wild, all right? Because if you think about in terms of where you're getting the most value in terms of coins and playtime, that's huge. So just keep that in mind. Unless you're hut rich, obviously, guys, then go ahead. But again, I'm talking to the free-to-play guys, the ones that want to maximize their time and coins. So if we're not going to buy cards on the auction house and we've gotten the 2 free ones that they offer, what's next? Well, the best thing that you can do is the random MSP choice set. So now it's getting a little bit more expensive because cards start out at 86 overall, but this 5 collectibles for a random MSP is 100% where you should put your next focus. So you already have 2 collectibles from doing the challenges from the event, so now you need 3 more, and I'm going to talk about how to get those for free. But this is definitely the best way to go. So on my no money spent team, I actually did this 3 times, which is a bit of a risk. But no matter what, you are going to get 2 guaranteed cards towards that event the first 2 times you do this. Because obviously you have 2 options. It's a 1 of 2 choice set. Even if you got the exact same cards in terms of the choice, you're still going to guarantee yourself 2 more. Now, the 3rd time, you're running the risk of getting the 2 cards that you've already chosen. But again, the odds are still in your favor to get a card that you don't have. So I'm going to show you what I have in my lineup right now, my no money spent team. Because again, every time that you add a card to your lineup, it drastically changes the amount of time required to actually get the free MSP. I want to go over these numbers real quick for you. It's 197 hours with 1 player in your lineup to acquire a free MSP via the objectives. You cut that in half with 2, which means it's 99 hours with 2 players. With 3, 65 hours. With 4, 50 hours. With 5, 40 hours. And with 6, 32 hours required of playing the game to actually get the free MSP. Now, why 32 hours is important if you can get 6? Is essentially because if you do 2 full Hut Champs runs, that's 40 games right there. So after Hut Champs, you're basically already halfway there, and that's before Rivals. I personally don't play any squad battles. Obviously, the fastest way is to just go 2-minute periods on squad battles and just mindlessly hit X or A, and you can get it done pretty quickly with multiple cards in your lineup, but I don't think that's a way to play a video game. I mean, it shouldn't be like work more than it already is because of the state of this game, but play the game how you normally would, and it is very easy to actually acquire these cards if you are going to put in this, X amount of games already. And then obviously that time reduces even more if Rivals Burst is on, for example, because it's just shorter periods when you're playing Rivals. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is going to require some math. And again, I go by everything being assumed that you are going to not pull anything in this game. Because if you go in assuming you're going to get some big pulls, you're just going to be disappointed because this game, you never pull anything. So let's talk about Hut Champs. For anyone that can get 11 wins in champs. And if we go backwards as well, it is still fine to, this is still going to be included in this. So if you go over to Hut Champs right now, the best way or the best value in terms of just your collectible, like cost per collectible. So if you get 5 Hut Champs collectibles, it has still been power-up collectibles because each power-up collectible is worth about 30,000 coins in value because that's how much it costs to actually make one. However, very few people still have X factors that they're trying to upgrade or power-up icons. Now, obviously, if you have a few in your lineup, then go ahead and make sure that you're using the power-up collectibles because I still think that's the best way to use your Hut Champs collectibles is to acquire all of the power-up collectibles you can to upgrade the cards that you have necessary. And then once you're done, this is where I think things are starting to change. So I mentioned earlier that I wanted to give you a completely free way in a week to get as many of these event cards as you can. So if you did the offline hut challenges and you got the 2 free collectibles, you're still 3 short. So I went ahead and did some math. All right, now if you have 5 collectibles here, everyone, if you aren't going to make collectibles or the power-up collectibles, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Ultimate Choice Pack or you're going to go to the Ultimate Pack, and I have done the same thing. It is the best odds of pulling something good, but as we know, you're never going to pull anything. How many times have you opened up an Ultimate Pack and the best pull in it has been an 81 or an 82? You have to go in assuming you're not going to pull anything. So with 5 collectibles, with the Ultimate Choice Pack, that is your best bang if you rarely play the game and you need a pull to actually get enough cards to turn into whatever it's going to be. If you need an 85 or an 87, 88, whatever it is to actually get or a good shot at completing enough event collectibles to make a card, yes, the Ultimate Choice is what you should do because the final round should at least give you an 85. But again, assume that you're not going to get anything. The next is the Ultimate Pack. It gives you 80 overall and above cards, 20 of them, and I think everyone looks at these two as the only option. But I did the math on it, and again, I'm going over for free-to-play players first. Here is what I would recommend with your 5 collectibles if you are able to get 11 wins. I have been harping on anything that has the word mega in it for years because you usually never pull anything. However, for free-to-play players, the Mega Players Pack is actually a decent value. And again, I'm going to explain to you some numbers here. It gives you 30 gold players. 5 of them are 80 and above. Now, if you assume you get 80 overall cards that are NHLers, they sell for about 1,250 at the minimum. Now, the other gold players, the 25 other cards, they are going to sell a NHL gold player will sell for about 800 coins, which equals about 20,000 coins in value. In total, this pack, if you don't pull anything, is going to be 26,000 coins in value. So if it costs you 2 collectibles, that's 13,000 coins per collectible. Again, you see why the Hut Champs collectibles for power-up collectibles is still the best value because that's 30,000 coins in cost. But again, if you have no use for power-up collectibles, what's the point? Now, the next pack, the Jumbo Elite Pack, will give you 1180 overall and above cards, and then 9 other items. Again, assume the items are nothing, and you're just going with the players, because again, you have to assume you're not going to pull anything. You're now up to a total of 1680 overall and above cards, and you've used 4 collectibles. However, with the Mega Players Pack, you also have to include the 25 other gold cards that you're also getting. And then finally, the Elite Pack, which is going to give you 5 more additional 80 overall and above cards, and then 5 other players as well. So in total, you are getting 2180 overall and above cards, as well as 30 gold players, for a total of about 50,000 coins in value. Now, if you were going to go with the Ultimate Pack and then let's say the Elite Pack, it's still not going to be the same value because of that Mega Players Pack giving you so many cards. And again, if you aren't able to get 11 wins in champs and you aren't able to get 5 Hut Champs collectibles per week, I would still go with the Mega Players Pack, not just for the event collectibles, but if you are working towards team builders, that is still the best way to go because it's going to give you your best shot at getting gold NHL players, so just keep that in mind as well. So now why that is important in terms of just the guaranteed amount of cards that you are going to get is if you come back to the sets, okay, you go to collectible sets, you've got 2180 overall and above cards. So again, let's just assume you're not working towards team builders and we're just going simply your no money spent. What do you do with those cards? You could sell them and get the coins, which is fine, but I'm not going to add in any more time and effort because I'm simply just going based on the math and what you could do if you just mindlessly don't think about it, because I guess selling the cards would probably give you enough coins to buy some other things at a better value. But you can go ahead and throw the 80 overall cards into here. You've got at least 2 of them that you can make because you'll have 21 80 overall and above cards. And again, that is if you just pull 80 overalls. So that's another 2 collectibles. You've got 30 other gold players. So there is your other 1 collectible. So now you've gotten, that is the best way to get a free random MSP choice that you can do with the 5 collectibles. So as you can see here, that's already knocked down. You've gotten 3 cards for this event. Hasn't cost you anything other than by just playing the game. And again, this is if you get the bare minimum. The other reason why making the 86 overall cards is still a good value in terms of the random MSP way, instead of going out and buying a card on the market for 50, 60,000 coins to knock down the objectives, is simply the cost that you'll get back. So let's say you get the objectives done and you don't want Tavares, you don't want Forsberg, okay? So what do you do with those cards? You can then just trade them right back in, and because they're 86s right now, and they will only go up as the overalls increase as well, 86s will give you 3 collectibles back, meaning that you're only losing 2 to essentially rent them when you're ready to trade them in. That is a great value in terms of what this game offers you, and is definitely the way that I would recommend going about this. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is make sure that you wait for week 2. I don't know how many times now, because of the series that I'm doing on No Money Spent, where I have to make a event MSP within that event, that I've rushed out and made, let's say, Connor Bedard on the next gen event, only for Owen Power and Edvinsson and Boldy and other good cards to come out in week 2. Trade deadline was even worse when you consider how good Mantha was, as well as even Seth Jones. So I would make sure you wait for week 2. So save up those collectibles by getting the objectives done, but then wait. Also, if you've gone ahead and done 3 of the random MSP sets, if you wait for week 2, you can do another 2 to knock down those moments and how many you actually need, because in week 2, you will not have the week 1 options in there, meaning that you can, again, spend 10 more collectibles that you've earned already to burn through the amount of objectives that you've got to do, which is always going to be the best way to go about it. So make sure that you're waiting for week 2 before you start investing in powering up one of these cards, especially if you're free to play. Now, again, guys, there's also other ways to drastically reduce the amount of time, like I mentioned with 2-minute squad battles, but I don't think that that's a way that you should have to go ahead and play the game to get a free card, because that's just work. That is chores, and this game has been so similar the last 4 years that it's already very chore-like by just doing the same cycle we've always done. But this is the most effective way to get a free MSP every single event for free by just playing the game. I hope this helps, guys. Let me know in the comments section if you've got any other tips as well. And make sure you join my Discord. We've got almost 4,000 Hockey Ultimate Team members in there. We talk HUT all day long, so I hope to see you in there. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.